Women over 25 finally realize men aren't dating anymore. Today's video comes from the Men Only channel. Their channel will be linked in the description of the video so that you can go check them out and support them. Why do women suddenly realize that men are no longer dating, and what effect is it having on women? And what effect will it have on them going forward into the future? Watch to the end of the video to have all of these questions answered. Don't forget to follow us over on Rumble. Our Rumble is linked in the description of the video. Also, don't let them tell you that you will own nothing and be happy. Go and check out Angry's Crypto Academy to learn how to buy, sell, and trade crypto while making massive profit. It's also linked in the description of the video. You can scan the QR code on the screen as well to head over to the Academy. Like the video, turn on notifications, and hit the subscribe button to push us out into the YouTube algorithm. And now let's begin.
I have so much support. I've never cried on the internet before.
Fellas, welcome back to the channel. Today's story, when women over 45 plus finally realize men aren't dating anymore. It's a harsh wake-up call. The same men they once ignored have completely checked out. No more chasing, no more simping, no more wasting time. These women are now shocked that men have moved on to peace, purpose, and passports instead of drama. Subscribe for more, because modern men are done being Plan B. So they are respecting your space, and you don't like it? They aren't there for you, hon. Feminism has put an end to approaching. You've told us not to approach you, and men finally listened. You're strong and independent. Why didn't you go approach them? You choose the grizzly bear over men. Now let the bear do the approaching. Leave us alone. We value our peace.
Question for you guys. Why do you think it's okay to send the D-pic? I don't ask for it. Never will I ask for it. But yet we still want to send it. Why? Why do we send that D-pic? For me, that's the quickest way to be blocked. Out. No, don't want it. I don't want to see it. I don't care what you got down there. I don't even know your last name. Why do I want to see that? So why, man, please tell me why you want to send these pictures all the time. I don't need to see it. I don't want to see it. No more, please.
Every single time I see an ambitious, successful, career-driven woman put her dreams on the back burner for a man, it makes me, why are you doing that? And I see it happen so often too. You only get one life, and I see them move cities for men. I see them move jobs, turn down opportunities, turn down college degrees. And it's not to say that it's a horrible thing to prioritize love or like a good relationship on top of everything else, but it's like when I see that level of sacrifice, I'm just genuinely thinking to myself, in 50 years, will you regret this decision? In 50 years, looking back, will you think, oh, I made the best decision possible for myself? I've met so many older women who regret turning down so many opportunities because they wanted to chase the idea of love. And even in their 70s, they're like, I wish I had gone to med school. I wish I had gotten a dog and traveled the world and gotten to see so many different places. And it's not necessarily the healthiest to view relationships as like, is this worth my time? But it's also healthy to prioritize yourself within your life, because you only really get one and you never know when it could end. For me personally, I would always be stuck envisioning the life that I could have had. I just don't think that I could do it. I don't think I could let it go.
So this woman is out here saying she's seen so many older women turn down opportunities because they were busy chasing the idea of love. Not actual love, not reality, but the fantasy version they've built up in their heads. And you know what? That's exactly the problem. Women will pass up career moves, stability, and even basic self-improvement because they're too busy holding out for some imaginary Prince Charming. But let's be real. It's not that these women chose love over opportunities. No, they chose bad men over good decisions. They weren't chasing love. They were chasing feelings, drama, and butterflies. And then when it all crashed and burned, suddenly it's society's fault. Suddenly men are the problem. And suddenly they sacrificed everything for love. Please, nobody forced you to waste your 20s and 30s chasing chat around like a pop star. And here's the kicker. Men don't even ask women to give up opportunities. Men want women who actually build something for themselves. A woman with discipline, with direction, with some sense of reality. But what do we get instead? Women who
And here's something very interesting for you guys. So Aisha Curry, she's married to Steph Curry, a very famous basketball player, one of the greatest of all time. He she basically did an interview recently, evidently, and this is what she said. Aisha Curry says she didn't want kids and didn't want to get married and thought she'd be a career girl. She says Steph tries to resonate with her, but he just can't. And that she goes to therapy to talk about what her life could have been like had she chosen her career instead of family. So you are married to one of the most famous basketball players of all time. You're married to a very intelligent guy. Steph has his hands in all kinds of other lines, television shows. It's a very intelligent guy, very handsome guy, very well rounded guy. I think he's a godly guy, probably. Extremely loyal, extremely family orientated. Like, I mean, and she comes from a good family too. She comes from a very, very good family too. And bro, it doesn't matter what you say, it doesn't matter what you do. It is from the streets that they came, and it is to the streets that they shall return. I've said this countless times. Within every girl, there is the streets. You can take the girl out of the streets, but you cannot take the streets out of the girl. If you look at, was it Tia Mari? She was married to a very good man, very famous man, very wealthy man, tall man, very good father, she admitted herself, but she divorced him to say that she graduated from her marriage. This is a woman that, as far as we knew, was never really out in the streets like that, but the streets were always within her. And it was from the streets that they came, and it was to the streets that she returned, and now she's going everywhere crying that she misses her husband. But it's too late. Aisha Curry has everything with Steph Curry. She has everything. There's no higher. This guy's worth like at least $100 million or more. He's worth a ton of money. He's like almost 7 feet tall. He's good looking. Okay, I mean, there's nothing more that you can ask for. She has the man, one of the men on this planet that so many women want, would be desperate to have. He's loyal to her. He's given her beautiful children. And guess what? It's still not enough. And she's going out there embarrassing him, saying that she never wanted to marry him. She never wanted to have kids with him. And she has to go to therapy now to work out the life that she could have had if she had not got into a relationship with him and had instead become a career girl. What do we call that? We call that feminism. People like to say that feminism changed women. Feminism didn't change women. Feminism allowed women to show us who they were as people, what they really thought, and how they really felt. So I'm not saying anything negative about feminism. I'm saying that feminism allowed women to simply be their true selves. It's a reality.
about holding out for love and then cry in their 40s when the pool dries up. That's not romantic. That's reckless. It's funny because they frame it like some noble sacrifice, as if turning down real opportunities makes them victims. No, it makes them accountable. Men don't get to blame anyone but themselves if they pass on success. But when women do it, suddenly, it's tragic. Suddenly, we need to feel sorry for them. At the end of the day, ladies, the truth is simple. You didn't turn down opportunities for men. You turned them down for your own delusion. And now you want sympathy? Sorry, but accountability is calling, and it's way louder than your fantasy of love ever was.
You know why some men have multiple women around and women can't even stand to have one man around these days? Because women solve men's problems. They cook, they clean, they get their life organized and together. What do men cause? Men are the problem. Men aren't the solution. Most men are not the solution these days. They are the problem for us. Wait for a man who is a solution to your problems, not your fucking problem. That is a key to life.
I have to say, I feel sorry for some of you men out there in the dating world, because it is 2025. I'm a 38-year-old female, and these women out here even confuse me. Some women out here putting Jesus in their bio, but then you go look at their stuff and it's nothing but thirst traps, lustful, seductive content. I mean, the modern day woman calls serving your husband oppression, but yet will have no problem going out and serving a male boss and cry that that's empowerment. And real feminine energy is not sexual marketing like the modern day woman might tell you. Y'all are getting seduction and femininity like completely confused. And I've said,
this is something I was thinking about today, and I was literally imagining this to myself. Like all of like you'll see videos like pictures of women posing in tiny bikinis or laced garments, and I think to myself, sis, this is not even attractive for dudes. Like men are not even attracted to this stuff. Your thirst traps, it's boring. This is not what a wife looks like. Like you go out dressed like just like in a like wearing these really not so wonderful outfits, and you don't understand that most men want a girl who's wearing a summer dress, a girl who's wearing normal clothes. Like this stuff is not attractive to us. And they don't care. You know the reason why? Because they're not trying to court us. They're trying to court Chad and Tyrone. They're trying to court the men who like big booty Latinas. Like, look at Ben Affleck. Look at the state of this man's family. All right? This man has been chasing J-Lo around for the last 20 years. And you can look at his kids, and you can look at the state of you can look at how things have not worked out so well for him. Sure, he's wealthy, and, but other factors of his life have not gone well. And why has this happened? Because he was too busy chasing a big booty Latina for the last 20 years. And a lot of men behave like this. Instead of focusing on themselves, their purpose, their passions, they end up going out there into the streets, and you can see there's nothing good waiting for you in the streets. And a lot of women, they get it confused. All right? They get it confused because the average man does not want that. The average man wants someone who has normal portions. Okay? Or if a woman has a nice derriere, she went and she earned it in the gym. She worked on her glutes, but most women don't want to work hard for things. They don't want to go to the gym. They don't want to work on their glutes. They want an easy way out. So they go over to Colombia. They do the BBL thing, where they basically put the equivalent of, CEMENT into their bums and call it, and then say that that's beautiful, bootylicious. And it's like, bro, no one wants that. That's why we had the whole BBL smells trending thing going on like a couple of months ago or maybe a year ago. Because it's like they're not doing this for us. They're doing this for Chad and Tyrone. They're doing it for these men specifically who are looking for these things. The average man is not looking for this. The average man is not attracted to this. The average man is attracted to more or less very average looking women. But women today they go and they fill their lips out. So they get the lip injections, the lip fillers. And it's like, bro, men are not attracted to that. Who are you doing this for? You're doing this for Chad. You're doing this for Tyrone and Little Poncho. Okay? Little Poncho, because Little Poncho likes a nice derriere. Little Poncho likes a nice derriere. But they're not doing it for us. They're doing it for them. And it's ridiculous. It's sad and it's ridiculous. There's a reason why men are focusing on their finances, their relationship with God, their relationship with themselves, and instead shifting away from going on dates and spending money on people who don't even like them. In a world pushing you to own nothing and be happy, crypto is your key to survival. Join Angry's Crypto Academy to master buying, selling, and trading crypto. Make huge profits and safeguard your wealth. Plus, discover the one crypto virtually no one is talking about, poised to create new millionaires in the upcoming bull run. The link is in the description of the video below. Go check it out now.
But a lot of women have this long laundry list of unrealistic criteria that they want in a man, but yet they bring nothing to the table. And we don't talk about that. We tell the women, no, you are a queen, you will be treated as such, but we're not teaching women how to be wives these days. And I would go out on a limb and say that most of the women out in the modern day dating culture do not actually have standards. They have entitlement and accountability, a woman's kryptonite. Some of you ladies are going to die alone, still blaming men for the choices that you made.
It's 2025, and let's be honest, the dating pool has officially turned into a circus. Women are crying online every day that no one wants them, while their profiles read like a walking red flag. You can't scream insecurity, lust, and ego from your pictures and captions and then wonder why men aren't lining up to commit. That's not a dating profile. That's a billboard for chaos. Here's the thing. Attention isn't love. You can get 500 likes, 200 thirsty DMs, and endless validation from strangers online. But that doesn't mean a man respects you. It just means men want to smash, not stay. Yet modern women confuse lust with commitment and then cry foul when men don't want to wife them up. And femininity? That's a whole other story. Modern women think pouting into the camera, showing skin, and acting bossy is femininity. Wrong. True femininity is peace, grace, and respect, not running around with a loud mouth, flaunting independence, and posting thirst traps at 35. Men aren't jealous of that. Men are turned off by that. Good men, the ones women claim they want, aren't falling for it anymore. They see past the filters, the fake standards, and the Instagram hustle. They're
You know what's interesting? Henry Cavill is highly respected among men. Henry Cavill is a Chad, but a lot of women today don't like Henry Cavill anymore because Henry Cavill isn't out there in the street. Henry Cavill isn't out there chasing relationships and lust. Henry Cavill is living his best life. They call him a nerd or a geek, and there's some men who do this as well, who grew up to be a Chad. No, he's just a normal guy. He's a normal human being. He's what most men should be when they grow up. A guy who, you grew up, being interested in things like technology. This is a guy who basically built his own gaming PC during the events of 2020. This is a guy who is big into Warhammer. This is a guy who was very much into the lore of The Witcher. He was so much into the lore of The Witcher that it resonated very much with the character. This is a person who understood Superman, the character, very well, even though he was not allowed to portray the version of Superman that he wanted to portray, evidently. He said that Superman was supposed to be a beacon of hope and sunshine. That was not what they gave us in the DCU. Okay? It's unfortunate. And what do women do? They say that he's like a little boy and they try to shame him because he's not out there in the streets. He's not basically living up to their ideals and standards of romance. This guy's a millionaire. This guy's handsome. Why the heck is he going to be out there in the streets chasing relationships? So the thing is that if you basically try to live up to the ideals of a woman, you will end up becoming the worst possible version of yourself, and that's how you end up putting yourself in trouble. Chasing relationships, chasing dating, chasing women, which is something the Bible evidently tells us not to do. That is how you ultimately destroy yourself. It's sad. It's really, really sad, but it is a reality that we all need to wake up to. It is a reality that we all have to be honest with. Of course, so many men are never going to accept it because they're addicted to that life. They're addicted to chasing. They're addicted to this notion that you have to keep on doing this. And then when they lose everything, they want to come to my channel and sit here and cry. And I tell them to go away. And then what do? They lurk and they keep listening to the content anyway. And I think that's really shameful. Like, if you're a simp, if you're out here living that kind of life, then realistically, like, please leave and don't come back. Don't even share I don't want to hear your story. I don't care. This content isn't for you. You had your shot. You had your chance. You blew it. All right. Now it's from the streets that you came, it's to the streets that you shall return. Now walk away, go away and live the life you wanted to live. I'm not here for you. Okay. I'm here for men who've learned their lesson. Evidently, you didn't learn your lesson, little bro. You didn't learn your lessons. You need to return to the streets. You need to return to the streets. And like I said, the streets lead to the church and the church leads to the streets. So stay off the church and stay off the streets. But a lot of y'all don't listen. So it's back to the streets because it's from the streets that you came, it's to the streets that you shall return. And I have zero empathy for these individuals. What do you guys think regarding all of this? Women over 25 finally realize men aren't dating them anymore. And this is only going to continue getting more difficult because women are struggling to survive. They're no longer going to have men to subsidize them. And the simp economy can't can't subsidize everyone. So you're gonna find a lot of women that are basically going on platforms like OnlyFools, Lonely Fans, trying to make a living on there, and they're basically trading their futures for short term for short term gains and very small short term gains. The average woman only makes something like $150 a month on OnlyFools, but but it's being promoted as though it's a great new side hustle, or it can even replace your income. It's basically the new YouTube for women, but that's not the case. And by the time they realize what they've done and how the unfortunate effects is having on them psychologically and even financially, could they realize, bro, I'm not making any real money on this thing. By then it's just too late. And of course, they're going to try to blame everyone else instead of taking accountability for what they chose to do because they do not have agency. Guys, do you agree that hard times are really here for them? Broke girl, hot girl summer is over. Broke girl winter has arrived. Let me know your thoughts and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA men walking away. And cheers.
Nothing says you care like crypto. Nothing can compare. Nothing says you care like crypto. Oh, nothing can compare to crypto.